Once upon a time, in a realm mislaid between mountains and dreams, there lived a gentle princess named Snow White. Her kindness was legendary throughout the kingdom, and her beauty was matched only by her stepmother, the queen. The queen possessed a magic mirror that she frequently consulted to affirm her own vanity. One day, the mirror's words shifted the queen's content. "You, my queen, are fair, it's true, but Snow White is fairer still." The queen's face burned with envy. The thought of another surpassing her in beauty ignited a malicious spark within her heart. The queen plotted to banish Snow White far away from the palace walls. Under the guise of concern, the queen sent Snow White, innocent and trusting, into the forest with orders to stay away from danger. In truth, she hoped the forest would consume Snow White and erase her existence from the queen's world. Snow White wandered the lush, whispering woods alone until she found herself in a clearing dotted with wildflowers. Before her stood an enchanting cottage, welcoming yet small and snug against the towering trees. Overcome with weariness, she entered, discovering a home with 7 tiny chairs and 7 small beds. Snow White, exhausted by her journey, fell into a deep slumber across the beds. That evening, the rightful owners returned, 7 dwarfs, each buoyant and distinct in character. They found Snow White asleep and decided at once to offer her refuge. With time, Snow White and the dwarfs formed an unbreakable bond of friendship. The dwarfs cherished her presence and cared for her as one would family. However, the queen soon learned of Snow White's survival through her ever-watchful mirror, and devised a scheme to rid herself of the girl once and for all. Disguised as an old hag, she arrived at the dwarf's home and offered Snow White a gleaming red apple. "One bite, dearie," the hag insisted, deceiving the naivety pure of heart. As Snow White succumbed to the corruption of the poisoned fruit, she fell as if in death within the dwarf's home. Distraught, the dwarfs placed Snow White within a glass coffin, her visage preserved in serene slumber. Time passed, and word of Snow White's plight reached a noble prince who had once glimpsed her luminance in the castle. Compelled by love, he journeyed to where the dwarfs resided. A single kiss, pure and true, broke the spell that bound Snow White to eternal sleep. Her eyes fluttered open to the comforting blend of relieved smiles and tender tears. The dwarfs cheered, and the forest came alive with song. Realizing the profound capacity of love and friendship, Snow White and the prince returned to the castle, where they vanquished the queen's darkness. Together, they ruled the kingdom with grace, her innocence preserved and shared with all. Snow White lived as stories promised, happily ever after, in a kingdom flourished by trust and joy, woven with tales of adventure and the unyielding power of love.